Hi, everyone. I didn't put out a self awareness activity last week, and here I am back for October 13th, the week thereof, or whenever you find this particular combination good for you. So, the card that you're being asked to contemplate and consider as you go into the week, just let it kind of be there and be aware of how it might surface for you in the week, is the card Trying versus Doing. Okay? Once you take steps or action towards a goal or intention, it ceases to be trying and becomes doing. Okay. I just want to say before I start this, I'm going to make this a longer video because I want to give you some very specific tips towards the end. So once I present them to you, feel free to cut off. But if you want a little bit more support in how you might want to use them, I'll put that towards the end. Okay? So trying versus doing. When I read that card, of course, I'm going to interpret it the way I relate to it. And you might relate to this completely differently. That's up to you to decide. But I'm just showing you now what I would like or how I would approach it. When I read that and I hear the word trying to me implies some kind of real efforting. And maybe not struggle, not to the point of struggle, but trying is like I'm generating energy trying to do something, but not necessarily achieving it. The trying, right? But what this card is saying is once you take steps or action towards a goal, you're no longer trying, you are doing it. And I think that's really important because it's the attitude sometimes that we can carry that try when we use that word. I'm trying to diet, for example. Well, no, you are dieting. You may not be dieting as well as you would like. You may not be seeing the results that you like, but you're not trying to diet. You are dieting. And the energy of the statement, you are dieting or I am dieting, as opposed to I am trying, what you are manifesting when you say I am dieting is you are manifesting dieting. When you say I am trying to diet, you are manifesting trying, right? Which has that energy of not reaching. So I think that's a really important thing to look at in terms of how do you frame energy in your life, and how do you frame how do you frame your movement forward towards something, or your achievement or your action and intention towards something, based on the difference of those two energies, and see if shifting your perception around that is going to give you more of a sense of achievement, more of a sense of momentum, and more of a sense of excitement towards it. Okay? Now, the other card I knew it was going to come up. I just knew it. The energy that you're being asked to embrace this week is humor. So remember, the energy that you're being asked to embrace is an attitude, right? And the reason the attitude is important is because the attitude is going to dictate to a very great degree the kind of chemicals that are going to run through your body, and the kind of thoughts you're going to have, and the things that you're going to notice. You're going to notice things that are more in alignment with the energy that you're manifesting. And also remember that that energy magnetizes things to you. So, humor. Humor in its highest form is kindly, not sarcastic. It has a generous quality, able to see absurdities and incongruities and perhaps paradoxes with a light heart, ready to find mirth and fun in them. Because it's gentle, it helps us to see the truth behind things that might otherwise create defensiveness. Look for the humor in all situations. Take a light attitude towards everything you see today, especially if it's contentious. So I like that because the humor attitude is directly contrary to trying, right? It's no. This is not about trying. This is about what I'm going to play with this. I'm going to move towards this in a playful manner. Now, this actually works perfectly with these other two cards in the way I've started setting it up for myself. And that is Stop and allow. Today, notice any time you find a positive thought or dream interrupted with sneaky thoughts that tell you it's too good to be true. Stop. Instead, tell your mind that it's at least a possibility, however slight it seems. Just for today, negative self-thought is not part of the experiment. Give yourself permission to dream and think in positive terms without censoring yourself. Allow for the possibility. So you see, for me, that goes right in alignment with the trying versus doing card. Because if I'm in a situation where I'm trying to achieve something and it's frustrating, I feel like I'm not getting it done, then by keeping a light heart and by stopping myself and saying, okay, I could be having a good moment here, or I'm starting to get excited, and then all of a sudden I notice the things that I'm not getting done. That could link to the trying aspect of it. But what I feel as I look at this overall, the energy of the spread itself for me is really saying, notice where you stop yourself from being in a positive state of movement towards something that you want. Notice how that shows up. Notice how you can use humor, and that when you deliberately use humor, it's a lot easier to not stop yourself from continuing to have good feelings. And when you do, when you notice yourself stopping, check yourself and say, no, today that's not it. Today it's about keeping a light approach, and it's keeping an attitude of movement towards what I want. It's noticing where I'm feeling resistance, where I'm feeling that trying quality, as opposed to, oh, look, I'm already engaged in doing this. And how does that shift my state of wellness and my attitude towards feeling positive? So that's how I would position it this week. Okay, now I'm not going to edit. I'm not going to pause and start again. For the second part of this reading, what I would really like to do is remind you that whether you actively do these cards or work with this consistently for the week, the fact that you look at them and you take a few minutes to consider it, it means that what you're doing is you're giving to your subconscious mind and your higher conscious mind the indication that you are intending to grow and be self-aware, or grow through self-awareness, that you're willing to use whatever circumstances come up in your week to be more aware and take control in a positive way, to be able to respond and make choices about how you feel, the kind of energy that you bring to yourself and into the world, how you can look at what your mind is doing and notice how you can make choices around that. And the reflection card is something that the reflection cards are designed to get you thinking and reflecting on different concepts. They're not meant to be things that are necessarily true statements or your truth. They're meant to get you contemplating what that means to you. So notice if you have resistance to anything in there, because resistance is a really, really powerful indicator of the fact that there is something coming up for you. And when you can slow down and you can look at that and see, let yourself see what you're resisting in that. Start by saying, how does that make you feel? Does it make you feel angry? What feeling comes up? And allow that to be your laser pointer to something in you that might be having some kind of energetic reaction to what's going on in the card. And you don't even necessarily have to know what it is, because now this is meant to just kind of be allowing the experience of choosing the energy and focusing it around an activity. It's allowing this to kind of percolate in your system and bring up whatever might be relevant for you. Now, of course, the plan with all of these cards is that you get to use them and you get to design how they're going to work for you. So if you're if you get cards that are taking you out into the world and you're not going to be out in the world, like if it's talking about everybody you meet today, blah, 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 and you're not going to be, feel free to pull another card. Or, and when I say pull another card, if you don't have a deck, which most of you don't, that's fine. Go to another self-awareness activity and look at one of those cards and use that. You've got enough, there are enough cards out there now through the various different self-awareness activities that I've been doing since, I think, January, maybe earlier, maybe November. There are a lot out there. So you can just pull them up and decide which ones you want to do. I always hold the card up so you can take a screenshot of it, and you can listen to the description of it. And you can also go to my website and check it out there, because I give some pretty good descriptions about how to use them, lynwalden.com. And the idea with it really is, as the cards are out there more and more through the various different self-awareness activities, you can mix and match them, you know. Notice what names spark you and see what works for you. It's really all about you using them for yourself. Now, the other thing I want to say about this is, if you are going to be working with them in a really, really deliberate kind of way, where you decide you want to use this spread for the entire week and you want to use it and notice what happens at the end of every day, it's a really good idea just to keep notes. Take a journal. If you've got a journal, keep notes in a journal. You might want to journal on what comes up, but you might just want to keep notes and keep them over time, so that as you continue to do these things, you start noticing patterns, okay? Now, again, you don't have to have the deck to do it. There are enough of the cards out there now that there's quite a lot to work with. So you can play with those and see, you just use this as a way to create a format for yourself that works for your timeline, for your particular circumstances, according to what feels good to you or interesting to you, and with as much intensity as you want. It's really up to you. Okay, I think I've said enough for now, and I'm going to leave you with that. I really do love it when I get responses, and I know I always said I was going to do a live one, and I just haven't yet. I have not managed to, I don't even want to say managed to, I just haven't flowed into that yet. My intention was, but then as I started to move towards it, I kind of felt myself pulling back, and I'm just honoring that for now. So I'm leaving this with you, and have fun. If you have questions, please, I do read the comments. So if you have questions, feel free to ask me, okay? Thank you so very much. Have a great week. I really appreciate you listening. Take care.